In the early days of YouTube, creepypastas were everywhere. They passed scary stories online through forums, videos, and photos. These tales are horrifying, but they're also made into films over the years. However, every one of these adaptations failed. But why? Well, stay tuned to today's video as we discuss why film adaptations of creepypastas are always doomed to fail. First up, why are they made in the first place? The horror genre has been pretty drawn out over the last few years, as there have been very few improvements in the genre. The biggest thing we've seen is moving on from the days of jump scares into the days of planned out horror. When looking at something to make into a horror movie, many recent filmmakers have looked at the advent of creepypastas. Though they are nowhere near as popular as they were during the late 2000s and early 2010s, they do hold a special place in people's hearts. The reason why these filmmakers seek out creepypastas and want to adapt them into movies is that they want to capitalize on this idea of nostalgia. Many people in their early 20s grew up watching these creepypasta videos on YouTube or watching people play the games that were based on them. Look at something like Slender Man, an internet phenomenon that took over the world in the early 2010s. It was everywhere on YouTube, and every big YouTuber played it at least once. However, looking at these creepypastas for film inspiration and taking the characters to adapt them into a movie is not the best idea, as the most recent 2018 Slender Man movie proved to the world. There's one main reason why these stories do not work in the form of film, and why they should be left online where they belong. Why do these creepypastas not work on screen? The main reason why these creepypasta adaptations don't work is that translating these online tales into film ruins them and takes away the uniqueness and special part of them as it gets lost in the filmic process. The main reason why creepypasta stories work so well online is that they were told like a campfire story as well as urban legend. They feel much more terrifying for the readers because they can use their imagination to fill in the blanks. When a creepypasta ends up becoming a movie, it's not very scary, and all too often, the film results in a dull experience that is far from the original tale. There are many video games based upon creepypasta stories, and this is the way people began sharing these stories on the internet. According to Turbo Future, people started to use the word copypasta because they were copying these stories on various websites. The original versions of all of these creepypastas were in text form, so many people would just copy and paste these paragraphs of text onto various forums, such as 4chan or even in private messages. One of the biggest creepypastas of all time was of course Slender Man, and was adapted into a movie back in 2018. The original Slender Man game and creepypasta were super popular, and everyone who was on the internet at the time knew about them. Many popular YouTubers played the game and made it insanely popular. Even someone like PewDiePie was known for playing this game back in the day, and made it what it is right now. The 2018 version of the Slender Man is one of the worst teen horror movies we have ever seen. The original creation was made by Eric Knudsen, and he posted a story about him on the Something Awful forum. The character has no face, which is his most defining quality aside from his long slender limbs and suit. This eventually led to a real-life tragedy involving the Slender Man, which is one of the main reasons why people think that this film was made in the first place, as well as this. This is also the reason why people are uncomfortable with this film adaptation of the story. The movie itself is based upon the real-life story of a few teenagers who killed one another about the Slender Man's sacrifice. In the film, we see four best friends, Katie, Chloe, Holly, and Ren. The girls are bored with their Massachusetts town and have nothing to do. They decide to look up scary stories and see if they can get the real Slender Man to appear. They were originally just looking to have some fun, but Katie goes missing, and soon after the others realize that this legend is real, and they cannot escape the Slender Man. The film grossed over $50 million worldwide, according to Box Office Mojo, but it doesn't have much to go on. This film proved the problem of turning creepypasta into movies, as the story did not feel scary and they become super generic. The version of the Slender Man story in this 2018 adaptation becomes one of the worst horror movies ever, and the Slender Man monster is such a terrible monster in the film. Sure, it looks like he's supposed to, but there's nothing about it that grabs the audience's attention. He doesn't do that much in the film, apart from appearing to take people and kill them. This sounds horrifying to the average watcher, but it doesn't give the film anything to work from. The characters end up spending the whole movie walking outside at night looking for something to be freaked out about, and that doesn't make for a good viewing experience. This was obviously how the original gameplay was, but it makes no sense for a film to be this boring. Main character problem. The Slender Man from 2018 also isn't a horror movie that has strong main characters, as there is also no great horror film supporting characters in the film either. Everyone in the film is dull and generic, and could be slotted into any scary movie. reality. There are hundreds of teen horror movies where characters hate where they live and want to have more excitement in their lives. This means that the base plot of the film isn't interesting and has been done a myriad of times in the past. The movie plot itself is designed in a way that many horror fans will expect. The girls are bored and want to see the Slender Man. They get scared when they discover that he is real, and they spend the rest of the runtime trying to escape from the character. And he picks them all off one by one. It is also possible to argue that the reason why the Slender Man works as a creepypasta story and not a film is because of his appearance. He is a skinny, tall man with no face, and he seems more like a shadowy figure than an actual person. The image looks great in an online format, and naturally led people to spread him around internet forums where people can let their imaginations run wild, thinking of what he would look like in real life. The whole film itself is super dark and becomes very tiresome over the runtime. Not every creepypasta story is going to make for a good horror movie, as these tales are meant to be spread around like legends, as if people were sitting around a campfire trying to stay warm in the chilly evening air. These stories feel scary online, because it's almost like they could be true even though the readers know they aren't. With the Slender Man film, everything from the original story is lost in translation, and it should have been better left on the pages of an internet screen rather than on a cinema screen. Another one of the biggest problems with Slender Man is the idea of adapting a game as well. Though the Slender Man film is based upon the original Creepypasta, it is also slightly based upon the game itself. The game that was going around the internet around a decade ago is heavily based upon the Creepypasta, and is what got most people into the story in the first place. You walk around the woods trying to find 7 pages, also trying to stay away from the Slender Man. He'll catch up to you and make your screen go staticky. This gameplay works super well on a computer, and in the comfort of your own home as you were sitting on your own trying to get away from the being. You know it's not real, but he can get you in the game. It's a really fun experience, and even looking back 10 years later, the original Slender Man game is great. It's a time capsule of that era, but it's something to look back on. The film, however, takes all that feeling thrown out the window, as the way films work does not cater well to this sort of story. The Slender Man game just does not work on screen, and does not get the same feeling as it would from someone sitting at home on their computer screen. Please let us know in the comments below your thoughts on the Slender Man adaptation, as well as why film adaptations of creepypastas are doomed to fail. And that's the end of today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed this latest video. If you did, would you please let us know in the comment section below? It would be very helpful. Make sure to like the video, comment down below, and of course subscribe to the channel with the notification bell rung. Thank you for watching today's video. Bye!